Okay, so Danny, a tough game against Peamount last weekend, but again, a solid start while we were under pressure. The defending was resolute kind of before the gap opened up in the second half. Kind of, what's your thoughts on the game as you look back on it now?
I thought we played well for parts of the game. We was a little bit more of a threat going forward than we was in the Shamrock Rovers game, which probably left us a little bit more open to chances. I thought that we've done some good things in the game. We've just the goals we conceded in the first half, are sloppy, and we just got to cut them things out. And we know if it wasn't, you want 2-0 down at half time, it's probably a different game going into the second half, and you're probably giving yourself a really good chance to go and get at them. But then when you're 2-0 down, and we don't really want to just sit back in and absorb pressure, we have to try and go and get something out of the game, and it just leaves you a little bit open at times.
Yeah, I suppose Jesse, on that, we lost Kieran McNamara at half time due to illness, and obviously the two of you have had an extended run in the team now, kind of as a centre back pairing, and Heidi slotted in really well. But being 2-0 down and losing Mac, that must have had an impact on the game plan then going into the second half.
Yeah, look, Mac is great help, but as you said, Heidi slotted in really well, and at this level we have to be open to adapt, and when things like that happen, we have to adapt as best we can. And as I said, I think Heidi did really slot in really well, and obviously Mac is a huge loss at half time because she helps me a lot and helps me get through the game. But yeah, we just have to adapt and we have to move on. And when we play those teams, as Danny just said there, we can't afford to give up silly mistakes, because when we do, they'll punish us for them. But I think Heidi did really well there, and she was talking to me just as much as Mac was, so it's good.
Very good. And again, look, Heidi did well a lot, and look, there was some great individual performances as well. But like Danny, there was a debut there for O'Brien up in the under-19s. I suppose with the few injuries we had in the squad with Zara, Eva, Heidi O'Sullivan all out, kind of creating opportunities. But it must be tough at the same time with a series of games like Shamrock Rovers, Peamount, Shamrock Rovers again, to have to introduce younger players, and that's where they're getting their debut.
Yeah, no, obviously it's not ideal. It's not ideal for them either. You don't really want to be throwing them in at the deep end like that, and it's just the way things have happened in terms of the way people have got injured, and the games we've had in the last couple of weeks. It's been a little bit harder because you've had to kind of give Erin, and to be fair to Erin, when she come on, I thought she done really well. Like, she was really difficult to play against, and we've got high expectations of her in terms of where she can get to. So I think it's all learning from as well at the same time, they're playing against elite level girls who have had international caps, some have been in the league for 10 years nearly, and you're like, it's the best place to learn. Obviously you want to be learning when you're winning games, and we all want to be winning, but it's a great opportunity for them to keep learning and keep trying to improve. And that's the one thing I would say I still think the girls are improving, I still think they're developing, I still think that the things we're doing in training, they're starting to come out in games at times. But we just have to, as we said, we're still susceptible to that little silly mistake that kind of puts us under the pressure of then having to go and try and chase after a game. And that comes with youth as well, and they're going to learn from them mistakes. And if they make them now at 16, 17, by the time they're 21, 22, they won't be making them mistakes. Hopefully.
And I suppose heading into playing Rovers again so soon, kind of what lessons can you take and implement from the league game that might help us out the weekend coming?
Yeah, look, we've learned some things playing against Rovers. I think that it's difficult because you kind of don't know what players are going to play for Rovers, because they can change things, and the players, they can change them with of a good quality. So they have a style, a couple of different ways they like to play, and so for us, we've set up twice to kind of not let them come at us and attack, and we've kind of been a bit more defensive, and we've done well in parts of the game for that, but we've not been able to do it for long periods of the game. And then we've gone at them and really gone after them, and for the first half against them, we created some opportunities and probably should have been 2-0 up. And I think we've tried a few different ways of playing against them, and I think that we have to go into the game and go, look, we've got nothing to lose, let's play it our way, and let's just go and be confident and try and win the game. And no one's expecting us to win the game. Everyone's going to write us off. So let's go there and do our best and try and upset them.
Yeah, and I suppose, Jesse, that kind of brings me on to it, like a cup quarter final at home. Rovers will be the hot favourite, as Danny said. Like, the expectations are all on them. But does that drive you on as a player then and motivate you to go, prove that we're not that far off them?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously a cup game adds a bit different as well to a normal league game, and I think all the girls will be up for it a bit extra this week as well. A cup game, and when the last time we played them, there was a great crowd down China's Cross, so we'd want that again and build a good atmosphere. And as Danny said, we have nothing to lose, just go there, and if we're all buzzing for it and give it everything, and then we see what happens.
And Danny, I suppose heading into the game, what's the injury situation, or how are we looking at that front?
Yeah, I'm not commenting on injuries anymore, because the last 2 weeks I've said that everyone's okay, and then we've come out of the meeting and someone's got injured. No, look, I think obviously Chloe's still out, Eva's still, look, she's probably around 50-50, and look, we have to just see how that goes. Heidi's another one 50-50, and look, we see how this week goes in training, because, like, touch wood, that we don't get any injuries and we'll be all right going into this weekend.
And look, I suppose, Jess, you touched on it there, that we'll be hoping for a big crowd. There was a big crowd there for the last game against Rovers. I mean, how much does that drive you on as players, to hear that support from the stands?
Yeah, hugely. And because the game is on a Sunday now at 2 o'clock, hopefully it can add and bring more people to the game. It's such a big help. Like, the noise the last time against Rovers was huge. So yeah, we really need that, and we need it more than ever Sunday, and hopefully get into a semi-final.